All right, so have you heard about this AlphaProteo thing? It's everywhere, right? All over the AI world. Seems like everyone's talking about it, especially in protein design. And
Yeah, and for good reason.
that's
It's a
it.
big deal.
It really seems like it. So we dove into some articles, some really interesting articles about AlphaProteo. And I got to say, this isn't just, another day, another AI algorithm. This is DeepMind, right? These are the folks that brought us
AlphaFold.
AlphaFold, exactly.
Yeah.
So clearly they're onto something here. And this time they're tackling, well,
Protein design.
yeah, protein design. Which, before we even get into, what AlphaProteo does and how it does it, maybe we should take a step back.
Yeah, for sure. So proteins, they're like the building blocks of, well,
Everything, really, when it comes to biology.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, they make up our bodies. They carry out all sorts of functions.
Right. They're like the workers, the machines.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And for these workers to do their jobs, they need to fit together in very specific ways. And
That's where protein binding comes in.
exactly, protein binding, it's like, imagine a lock and key,
Okay.
but on a much, much smaller scale, a molecular level. And what AlphaProteo is trying to do is it's trying to design those keys.
Interesting. So it's not just about understanding how proteins work. It's about actually creating them from scratch.
In a way, yes. It's about designing proteins that can bind to specific targets, and not just any binding, but a really strong high-affinity binding.
Okay, so strong binding, high affinity. Got it. But, scientists have been working on protein design for, forever. So what makes AlphaProteo's approach so different? What's the secret sauce?
You could say it's the data, the sheer amount of data it's trained on. We're talking about a massive data set here, over 100 million protein structure predictions from AlphaFold. And on top of that, even more data from the protein data bank.
So it's like they've fed this thing all the protein knowledge we have.
Yeah. And by studying all these blueprints, all these protein structures, it's learned the underlying principles, like what makes a protein stable, what makes it effective.
It's like teaching a computer to think like a biologist, almost.
Yeah, in a way, it's given AlphaProteo this incredible ability to understand proteins at a level we've never seen before.
That's mind-blowing. So, okay, it have all this data, but how does it actually use it? How does it go from, data points to designing something totally new?
Right, so it uses this technique called reinforcement learning.
Okay.
And essentially what it does is it learns through trial and error. It starts with a random protein structure, and then it makes small changes. And for each change it makes, it evaluates it.
Evaluates how?
It looks at the predicted binding affinity, so how strongly it will stick to its target.
Okay, so it's constantly experimenting and learning from its mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is it can do this all in silico, which means on a computer.
Right.
So it doesn't have to, wait for experiments in a lab.
It can run through millions of simulations.
Exactly. And that means faster drug discovery,
Yeah.
more effective treatments. I mean, imagine being able to design a protein that could target and destroy, let's say, cancer cells
Wow.
with incredible precision,
Yeah.
minimizing the damage to healthy tissue.
That sounds like, are we talking personalized medicine, new cures? What's the end game here?
Oh, the potential it's huge. Take agriculture, for example.
Okay.
Imagine crops that are engineered to resist pests
Yep.
or tolerate drought or even produce higher yields.
This is all thanks to designer protein.
Exactly. The possibilities they're really quite amazing.
Yeah. So, for the researchers out there, for the scientists listening, this has got to be a game changer, right? How do you even begin to explain how much this changes things in terms of the pace of research and scientific discovery?
It's a huge leap. It drastically speeds up the whole process, the research process.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, designing these new proteins, it was tedious, it was time consuming, a lot of trial and error in the lab. And with this, AlphaProteo can generate and test countless designs in silico before you even have to step foot in the lab.
It's cutting out years of work.
Yeah, potentially. It's really quite remarkable.
So, it sounds like AlphaProteo is...
It's a game changer.
It really does. It's a game changer. It could revolutionize, like you said, medicine, agriculture, and who knows what else, right? It's almost a lot to process.
It is a lot to process. It's hard to overstate how big of a deal this is, not just for science, but for humanity.
Yeah.
It's a pivotal moment, really, in the world of science. And I think as AI like AlphaProteo becomes, more sophisticated, more powerful,
Yeah.
it's really fascinating to think about what the possibilities are. What can we achieve? And also what role will human ingenuity play in all of this?
Yeah.
In shaping the future?
Yeah. I mean, a future where we can design solutions to some of our biggest challenges.
Exactly.
I mean, that's something worth thinking about.
It really is.
And on that note, that's it for our deep dive into AlphaProteo. Hopefully, this is giving you a little glimpse into the future of protein design, which seems to be very bright.
Very bright, very exciting.
Very exciting, yeah.
Yes.
So until next time.
Yeah.